Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be breaking down Carson Wentz in a film session today and just discussing what he brings to this Commanders offense in Washington after the trade from Indianapolis. Before we get started, though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. That would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. With that said, let's dive right into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Obviously, crazy trade yesterday. Carson Wentz headed to the Washington Commanders as their new quarterback, and the Commanders paid a pretty big price for him. I mean, 2 potential second-round picks, a third-round pick in there. There was a lot of draft compensation in that trade, and for the Colts, they get rid of Wentz, who honestly, for them, yeah, it was a little bit of a frustrating year, but had a pretty solid statistical season. 3,500 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions on a way to a 9-8 record. Obviously, frustrating season for them, but I still think Wentz did a fine job. I talked about in my breakdown of the trade yesterday. Wentz is a solid quarterback, and I think with Wentz, the Washington Commanders are a playoff contender. I mean, they're not going to be, they're not going to be contending for the Super Bowl, but I think they can contend for the wild card. I think that they could be a wild card team. Their defense is good, and with some with a solid quarterback in there who can make plays, as we'll break down in today's film session, I think that they're a potential playoff team. Nonetheless, let's dive into the film session, show what Wentz brings to this Washington offense. The number one thing I like about Carson Wentz's game is his ability to make big plays, and although he's not the same quarterback that we saw, a couple years ago for Philadelphia, where he had that almost MVP season. He's not that quarterback anymore, and he's not elite in any regard. But at the same time, he can still make big plays. And just look at this play here. I love this play from Carson Wentz against the Tennessee Titans here on a 1st and 10 play, down 9. You need to get the offense going. Play action play here. He's going to drop back in the pocket. He's going to feel the pressure, right? The pressure gets into his face. And what is Carson Wentz going to do? He's going to turn away, move away from the pressure, and then throw an absolute dime on the run, right? There's pressure coming to his face. There's pressure here. He doesn't really have anywhere to run. Could keep running, try to get outside, but instead fires an absolute dart downfield to an open receiver there for a big, 25-yard gain to keep the chains rolling. This is a fantastic play from Carson Wentz. And sure, there are a lot of plays that he makes where he tries to do special things and it doesn't work out. But when he actually is able to do these special things, he's a really good football player. I mean, just look at this job here, right? Feels the pressure, feels the heat, turns away from Carson Wentz. And here against the Miami Dolphins, he makes a nice read here. Sees the one-on-one matchup on the outside between Mo Alley-Cox and the defender. And think about this as a kind of like maybe a Logan Thomas red zone play. I actually really like Carson Wentz in the red zone. I think he's a pretty good red zone quarterback. I know he's got his share of interceptions and he's got a share of turnovers, but in all regard, I think he's pretty solid in the red zone. I like him in there just because of his ability to run, personally. But nonetheless, you're going to have Mo Alley-Cox kind of just running a go route to the end zone. One-on-one matchup. Cox is a big guy, can go up and grab it. And think about it kind of as a Logan Thomas type tight end in this regard, maybe in the red zone in Washington. Wentz drops back, looks at his first option over here, doesn't really see it, doesn't see anything open here, doesn't see anything open here. So instead, decides to take this shot one-on-one. It's a simple one-on-one matchup. Throws the ball up high, above Eric Rowe, and simply Mo Alley-Cox comes down and grabs it. But I think that this kind of play could really work in Washington, where you have a one-on-one matchup with a good tight end in Logan Thomas who can go up and grab it in the red zone especially, and go up and make plays like these. I could see that this be a feature of Washington's offense next season, especially with Logan Thomas. But as I said, I just think this is a good read by Carson Wentz, seeing that this area of the field kind of closed off by the Dolphins defense. Why not just throw one up to a one-on-one matchup with a physical tight end against a corner, or rather a safety in Eric Rowe, who, although good against tight ends, I'm not sure that he's the most physical safety overall. So I like this read by Wentz, and he makes a nice play. And another thing I like about Carson Wentz's game is his game with the play-action passing game. He's really productive in that situation. You saw that against the Ravens last year on this play, but overall for Indianapolis, I mean, he had a good run game, and Washington has a good run game too. Antonio Gibson's been pretty productive over the past 2 years, so if that keeps up, I think that could be pretty solid. On this play, I really like it. They've got man-to-man coverage on the outside. They're going to have this receiver running that route there, and as these linebackers come and bite on the play action, Carson Wentz is going to realize that he's going to feel that he's going to get rid of the ball and throw an absolute dart to the open guy. You're going to see these linebackers once again. They come down because they think it's a running play. And even the corner, too, bites a little bit on it. And what that does is that allows a little empty space for this receiver to cut in behind. Wentz gets rid of the ball before anyone is really near him, has a clean pocket to throw from. And when he's got a clean pocket, he is accurate to Zach Pascal for the big gain. But once again, just reading the play, giving what the defense taking what the defense gives him, rather, excuse me. Really nice read from Carson Wentz, and when he's got the time in the pocket, he's going to do a good job. I think with a good run game in Washington with Antonio Gibson, think about Zach Pascal, kind of like a worse Terry McLaurin in a way, as I think that McLaurin running that route, that could be a touchdown. Another thing that people don't realize about Carson Wentz is he's got a bomb of an arm. Like, he has got an absolute bomb of an arm, and with Terry McLaurin being able to be a really good deep route runner, as well as some of the other talented players that Washington has on the outside of the football, I really like what Carson Wentz's arm brings to the table, because not only is he powerful, but he can throw the deep ball. On this play here, he's going to have the ability to hit the deep man over here. This kind of be what the route combination looks like. He's going to get good protect the defense. It's not short. It's not too long. It's a perfect spot. Goes right into the hands of the receiver to catch it in stride for the touchdown. Doesn't have to wait on it. This is a beautiful ball. Notice how this ball is not too out in front, not too far behind, not to the left, and not to the right. It's right in the area where it needs to be. Comes down perfectly for the touchdown. Really nice throw from Carson Wentz. This is what he has the ability to do. And just imagine how scary this is with some really talented receivers like Terry McLaurin. And another thing I love about Carson Wentz, who I don't think is as mobile as he used to be, obviously, had that big injury that really has kind of hampered things for him. He's not the same player that he used to be, but nonetheless, I think he's still a really solid football player. On this play here, it's going to be a QB run design where basically Jonathan Taylor is going to fake up the middle here, and Carson Wentz is going to take these lead blocks to the outside and just take it in for the touchdown. And this is the kind of the athletic player that he is. This is the kind of run designs that you can run with him. So as you see, really nice job by these two defenders, two offensive linemen, kind of sealing the edge here on these blocks, really making sure that block is sealed. And what Wentz sees is he just reads that there really isn't anyone to this side of the field, and if he can just out sprint this linebacker to that side, that's a touchdown. So as I like the patience here. Good job by Jonathan Taylor, really selling this too. But nonetheless, Wentz is able to get outside and then even fakes out the cameraman here. Diving into the end zone for the touchdown. Love his ability to just lay out the body, willing to sacrifice it all to get in for the score. But more importantly, these are the kinds of plays you can run with him. It gives you a lot of offensive flexibility and freedom if you have a quarterback that can really run in the red zone and make big plays with his legs. That's what Carson Wentz can do. That's what he did on this play against the 49ers. And I like this play too here. He's going to have Michael Pittman over on the slant route. And this is all timing. This is all power throw. This is an accurate throw from Carson Wentz. Once again, he's got a little bit of time in the pocket. He's got a little bit of space. Doesn't have too much pressure in his face and is able to fire an absolute dart for Michael Pittman here. And just look at this play. You're going to see the Jets kind of go back into their defense with their linebackers. So basically, these linebackers are going to come into these zones here. It's going to be man coverage across the board, but these linebackers are going to come to the zone. And then this deep safety is going to run the middle of the field. And once again, Michael Pittman's running this route. So the window is small. But what does Wentz do? He has a no fear agenda, fools this defender completely, making him bite. And really, that's a tight window because this defender messes up there, moves too far over, because what Wentz is able to do here is really just find the spot where he needs to put the ball and puts it there. So that's a fantastic throw right in to the perfect spot where the defender can't really grab it. And then you have it's out in front of this defender. Really nice job by Michael Pittman using his body to shield the ball, and then it's in front of the safety, so it's in the perfect spot for Pittman to catch it. So really nice throw there. That's just kind of the accuracy and power that Wentz has at times. So with that said, I think Carson Wentz really brings a lot to the table for this offense in Washington. We showed what he was able to do with his arm, right? Throw the ball deep, throw the ball accurately, throw the ball on the run. And then with his legs too, he's really able to extend plays, get away from pressure, and make clean throws. I think Carson Wentz has all the tools to be successful. It's just really, he hasn't really been able to string together consecutive game after game after game after game, season after season success, right? And that's the issue with him. Also, there were talks of him maybe in the locker room not really fitting in with Indianapolis, and that might be part of the reason that he ended up getting traded for them. Nonetheless, I still think he's a good fit in Washington because, he's going to play Philadelphia twice a year, so that's great for national media attention. But more importantly, I think he fits well with guys like Logan Thomas and Terry McLaurin. Anyone fits well with Terry McLaurin, but especially Logan Thomas. We saw the efficiency that Mo Alley Cox had last year in the red zone under Carson Wentz. I think we could see a similar thing with Logan Thomas, especially with a good running game too. I think Antonio Gibson's one of the better young running backs in the NFL. And if that's able to continue, especially his ability to catch balls out of the backfield too, that's going to be good for Carson Wentz. He has the weapons around him. The offensive line isn't as good as it was in Indianapolis, but nonetheless, I think Carson Wentz has the ability to have a successful season next year. I don't know if he gets to 4,000 yards, but I could definitely see 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Gets the job done, probably 3,800, 3,900 passing yards, maybe 4,000 in a 17-game season. But I think that, with a little bit worse running game and maybe some slightly better receivers, I think we'll definitely see the numbers go up, throwing the ball deep wise, and definitely passing yards wise. I don't know if the same touchdown interception ratio will be the same. But I think that this team is a playoff team with Carson Wentz. I do believe that. I think their defense is good enough, and I really like the pickup of Carson Wentz. Definitely a little bit shaky, and definitely a little bit either this goes really well or really badly. There's no in between. But I like the riskiness here by the Washington football team. They knew they couldn't win it. They knew they couldn't win really with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Taylor Heineke. Like them being aggressive and going out and getting Carson Wentz. And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.